welcome to the channel for a little morning routine video. I asked actually on Instagram yesterday if I did this video, if y'all want it vlog style, if you want a voiceover style, and like 90-something% of the votes said vlog style. So I'm basically just gonna take you through my morning. I'm prepping to film a video probably at 10. So in 2 hours, I woke up at 7:30, it is now 8. So just the first kind of 2 hours of my day, what it looks like to get ready, skincare, makeup, hair, just what I kind of do in the morning to prep to go to work, to start filming, to do whatever. I will say this morning looks a little bit different than most mornings because Jordy's not on tour yet. And so normally when he's home and around, the routine is a little more chill, a little less jump straight into work, and normally he's up before me and he makes us coffees. He already has been up before me and taken out Max, fed Max, done all that sort of stuff. But then normally I text him when I'm awake and he makes our coffees and we have coffee time and we just like hang out and drink coffee and connect for 30 minutes before the day gets started. But I decided to film this video today because I knew I'd have the house all to myself this morning. My parents are in town visiting and they're all off at an adventure. I think they're at the beach right now, maybe some tennis, I don't know. But I knew I'd have the house to myself to film this video. So I normally start off the day with some computer work, just clean out my inbox for the day, make sure there's nothing too urgent I missed from the evening before. I have a video going live today that I haven't finished the upload process for, and that is just, you know, the description box, the tags, if there's any links, any timestamps, all that sort of stuff. It normally takes me about an hour per video, an hour per vlog. This isn't a vlog, so there's probably not much to link or anything. So I'm gonna get this up and running, and then otherwise my inbox I think looks pretty good. Well, I don't know actually. I'll clean that out too. And then once that's all done, we will officially start getting ready for the day. I need to style my hair. I washed it last night and I slept on it wet and my hair doesn't know what it is. It wants to be wavy, it wants to be straight, it just is this. So when I sleep on it wet, it takes a little extra care the next day. Guess who got home?
Yeah.
I made my own coffee this morning.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
How dare I make my own coffee?
Sorry.
Well, inbox is clean, video is scheduled. Next step of my morning is usually skincare and then supplements before makeup. But to be honest, my morning skincare is so minimal these days. I do a lot more things overnight to let them sit, let them really get into my skin. And then also I don't like to put too much on my skin in the morning because I feel like it affects the way that my makeup lays. So what I do is wash my face, of course. I'm gonna let this water heat up for a second because it takes a second. You know, I've been using this every single day since December 2022. It was all thanks to that one Airbnb I stayed in that had this in their shower. And I swear my skin changed. And I always take my time in the morning because I kind of feel like when I, just kind of massage my face with this, one, the product is extra getting in my skin. But two, kind of helps any like morning puffiness. I still get a lot of puffiness around my nose ever since my surgery, but I have to be really delicate with it. So I'll just kind of, not fully facial massage, but kind of. If I was fully facial massaging, I think I'd want to work it down out of my lymph nodes like this, right? Which I don't usually do, to be honest. Maybe I should start. I try to remember to use a clean washcloth to dry my face, but half the time I use my bath towel, which I know you're not supposed to do. But then the only other thing I put on my skin before we go do sunscreen and makeup is a moisturizer. Most of the time I use this simply because it's way more affordable. If I have this, I will use this. Sometimes Drunk Elephant's really nice and will send it to me. So I love this, but to me, they're both a peptide moisturizer. The Inky List is very comparable. So oftentimes I'll just use this because it's like, I feel like they raised the prices recently, but it is literally probably about 1/8 of the cost of Drunk Elephant. But Drunk Elephant really is the best. Oh, I forgot to mention this earlier. Something I try to do every morning before I even drink water, like when I wake up and I go to the bathroom, is tongue scrape. You're not supposed to drink anything before doing it because you could just be like re-ingesting all the bacteria and gunk on your tongue. I probably remember to do that 80% of the time. But also my lips have been really dry and I have so many random clear lip glosses everywhere. This is one of my favorite. This tube is almost empty. They call it the Kiss You Lip Mask from Tatcha and it is so good. So I'll just put a little clear gloss on here. The things that I have a million of are skin tints and clear glosses. Those would be my desert island things, probably. Supplement time. Obviously every morning I take my seed. If you know, you know. I've worked with them for like so many years. This video is not sponsored, but I am running low. So I'm just gonna take one because I need to get more. I normally take 2, but I always try to do that on an empty stomach in the morning. Something else I always try to do every morning is take a scoop of colostrum. I like the unflavored colostrum. I love Armra. I've been taking this for quite a while now, and I'm a dry scooper because I heard there's more benefits that way, to kind of like have to chew on it a bit because your microbiome starts in your mouth. You kind of just have to like work it into a paste. It's a little savage, but it is what it is. And then I have a ton of random supplements in here and I'll kind of mix them up every morning depending on how I'm feeling. The seed and the colostrum are 2 things I do every day, but I've just noticed a little tickle in my throat and I'm really trying not to get sick. So this morning I'm gonna take a vitamin C. I have a couple vitamin C's I like. I like this one from Symbiotica. I also really like this one from Mary Ruth. They're very similar. These are great for travel. This is way more affordable. Pros and cons to both. And the last thing I'm gonna do is make myself a little electrolyte water to sip on while we get ready for the day. I feel like these actually really help me drink a lot more water. I love the way they taste. Some people think that they're too salty, but I think that they're delicious. Sometimes I like to drink with a straw. Makes me feel a little fancy. My 2 favorite flavors are the watermelon and the grapefruit. They're both so good. So let's go take this upstairs and let's go do our makeup for the day. Actually, let's start here until Mom and Dad get home. This is my favorite lighting in the house. In the morning, whenever I'm getting ready, it's just kind of like soft and all around. I feel like I can see what I'm doing the most, but Mom and Dad went on their own little adventure and we'll see when they get back and I'll move upstairs whenever that happens. But I feel like I get a lot of questions about what my makeup routine is. In some ways, I feel like it's the exact same every day. And then in other ways, I feel like I'll swap out some products, but I'll do the exact same thing every day. So I might swap out the skin tint, I might swap out the eyeshadow, but I'm pretty much doing the same thing every day. And I have not found a sunscreen I like more than this glow screen. I still love glowy skin. This is SPF 40. I'm sure matte skin will be back in style one day, but I don't even care if I look greasy. I love to look glowy. Sometimes I get sad about how much I have to care about sun exposure, like to be in the shade all the time because lupus, and to like really be mindful about SPF and all those things. But then I remember my skin's probably gonna look so good when I'm in my 40s, 50s, 60s. It's a blessing. And then I'll go in with the skin tint. I love a lot. I love Typology. I love this Glossier one. This one's just in my little travel sack right now, so we're gonna use this. It is so light. The Typology one's a bit more coverage, so I'll do that on days I want a bit more coverage. This is like, this hardly makes a difference, but I do think it does make enough of a difference to do it. So I use my fingers for everything. Whenever I use like a brush or a sponge or whatever to apply this type of product, I feel like you lose so much into the brush or you lose so much into the sponge. Also, your fingers are warm, they're body temperature, and I feel like that kind of helps to melt makeup into the skin and get like a much more natural, even application. I do use brushes to blend things after I put it on my skin, but why not just keep it easier, you know? Good morning! Good morning! Hello! Who won tennis?
Today, Dad did.
Good job, Dad.
Thank you.
Welcome. Well, they're getting ready upstairs, so we'll stay here. The next thing I do is a little bit of contour. I use this from Merit. This is the color Clay. It's kind of a very light contour bronzer situation. I just do cheekbone here. And I do this before I set my concealer because I don't want to mess with any powderiness. I want it to all blend really well and then I'll set with powder. Sometimes I'll do my jaw. I don't feel like it really does much except for maybe sometimes not really blend well. And then I take a brush to blend this. This is from OG. Can't tell you what brush this is, but I'll kind of pat it into the skin first so that I don't move too much of it around, and then I'll blend it out. This one I don't care about moving too much around, so I'll just kind of roughly blend it. And then once that is all good, I will set with some powder. This is Ilya's setting powder. Fade into You. I was using a little like triangle, but I lost it the other day. I don't know where it is, so I'm gonna use a brush, and I'll just kind of pat this into my under eye to help make sure that this doesn't crease throughout the day. And then with a little bit of residue, I'll just do a little bit on my forehead and my chin and kind of around my nose, a little bit of T-zone. I don't do any sort of powder on my cheekbone because I want that to remain glowy and all that sort of stuff. So base skin is done. The next thing I'll do is set my brows. I want them to be fully dry before I fill them in. This is getting kind of gross, but this is from the Beauty Crop. It's their brow gel. I love it. I can never find it. I think it's more popular in like Australia, but occasionally they'll restock a few on their website, or I'll find a few on Amazon. I'm obsessed with it. I found it in a subscription box forever ago. And based off the packaging, I was like, oh, this isn't gonna be very good because the packaging looks like a kid's toy, but it's actually so good. And then I'll take my brow pencil, the spoolie side, and I'll just kind of shape this exactly the way I want it and let this dry before I go fill it in. Sometimes as it dries, it tends to shift a bit, and so I'll go back through another time and shape it a little bit more and just kind of train it to stay where I want it to. I have learned you only get one shot with the gel. You can't go back and add more gel later, or else you get so many clumps and white flakes. So it's a one and done shot. Of course, we always curl our lashes. And then a little shadow. I honestly have been in a spot right now where I haven't been really loving any of the shadows I've been doing. I'm gonna use this palette. This is by Tarte. It's the Tartelette in Bloom. I'm gonna start with just a really light white. And I use the same brush the whole time. Let's do this Smarty Pants color right here. It's just a matte kind of taupe. Do that around the crease. I'm gonna go in with this Flower Child. It's just a lighter version of that and kind of blend that out a little. The thing I don't love about this palette is it smells like chocolate. And that can't be good for you. And I'm just gonna leave it there, probably. Because if I do more, I tend to regret it. Just blend that out a bit more. I feel like liner is out, but I still love it. And I use Stilla, S-T-I-L-L-A. It's the super, super fine tip felt pen. And I really focus, but I do just a tiny line. Okay, mascara. I love, 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 love this Clean Lash by Merit. I feel like it's starting to dry out a little. I'm gonna go out a little, tiny little bit of water. I do this to make it last longer, and I don't think you're supposed to do this. Just get the spoolie a little wet, and then I just kind of throw it around in here. And I go so slow on my lashes because I don't want any clumps. Oh no. Apparently the way I do my left eye is crazy. That I still use my right hand or something, or that I don't know, do people do this? I can't do that. I would get it all over my face. Brows are dry. They aren't moving anywhere. So fill those in real quick. I've been learning less is more. We've all learned about brow blindness in the last 6 months of social media. So I try not to do too much. I usually fill from the top so that I don't overfill the bottom going up, because that's when your brow looks kind of fakely filled. So I'll do that last. So I'll go on the upper side of my brow and get as much color in there as I want. And then once I feel like that's fine, I'll just very lightly do a few strokes from the bottom. Sorry, I'm trying not to move my face. Then I'll brush it out yet again, make it look as natural as possible. Now all we have left is really bronze and blush. So I've had this bronzer for maybe a year now. Look at that. I'm at pan, but there's still so much left. I think it's literally been a year. Can't even tell you what color it is because that's the back. But I love this bronzer from Kosas. And I'll do everywhere the sun hits. So I'll do cheekbone, kind of pull it up into my hairline a bit, forehead, and I'll do a bridge of my nose. This is my favorite blush from Merit. It's this little cream blush. I have this in a million colors. In my bag right now is Beverly Hills. So I just apply this kind of to my upper cheekbones, and then I'll take a little on my finger and I'll put it on my nose as well, yet again trying to kind of emulate a natural blush of like where the sun hits, and I'll kind of blend that down the sides of my nose. It kind of works as a highlighter as well. A lot of mornings I'll stop there, but if I want to do a little extra couple things, I have this Radiant Touch from YSL, and it's a little like pen like this. I'll do a little in the corner of my eye just to brighten that up, and a little under my brow bone to brighten that up as well. And I will blend that out. And a little clear gloss as well. This is by Tarte. It's the Plumping Lip Oil. I like the way this looks. I can't tell if I like the way it makes my lips feel like hydrated wise. I feel like it makes my lips a little dry throughout the day, but it looks really good when you first put it on. It's just a clear little pumping gloss. And then we move on to hair. Hair time. This is my most frequent way of doing my hair. I've been experimenting a lot lately with like no heat, low heat, wavy types of, you know, styling. But this is what I do if I want my hair to last like 3 days looking somewhat styled. Just gonna let this heat up. And in the meantime, we will prep the hair. I like to use some sort of like heat protectant oil. I'm out of my favorite one. I just ran out this week, which I should even know the name of it, and I don't. I just got a little dropper bottle. What is it called? But I have other ones. Let's see if any of these are heat protectant. Healing oil. I actually can't quite tell if any of these have heat protectant, but we're gonna use this one, Virtue. We're just gonna hope that maybe it has a little some sort of heat protectant in it. Just run this through the ends. And I also love to use dry shampoo on clean hair, but I'm gonna do that after we style it. And then I usually divide my hair into thirds. So I'm gonna take the bottom third of my hair, put this in a little bun. And what I do is I use my straightener to get kind of curls. I always curl away from my face, and I always leave a bit of the end loose. I know some people call that Utah curls. Some people hate that, but I think it looks a little more just like beachy. So I'll take my straightener and I'll curl it away from my face, and then I'll kind of rush through the last little bit so that it doesn't curl all the way to the end. And I'll just repeat that a few times for each 3 layers of hair. Make sure to make all the pieces pretty smooth before I go in. And this one, curl away from my face this way. And onward. The top layer, the bangs are a little hard. I just make sure to kind of start the curl around my cheekbone. Kind of like that. It's very subtle. I'm gonna kind of let these curls cool for a second while I get a little dry shampoo. This is Pros. It's made for me. We love it. I kind of just separate my hair in a couple spots and give a couple little poofs. This helps my hair not lay so flat when it's clean. Like you normally think of dry shampoo to keep your hair a little cleaner when it's dirty, but I also love it when it's clean to give my hair a little bit of body. And then I'll kind of just work that in the roots. Kind of work out these curls a bit, let them fall. I don't put any sort of product in them to really hold them because I like the way that they look when they fall. And there we go. That will give me a little bit of like a beachy kind of wave for the next couple days. I'll just normally need to like kind of reset my roots when I wake up in the morning. Sometimes I'll wet them with some water, let them dry, and then re-dry shampoo to get body again. Out a shirt. I gotta pick out pants to go with it, but I always just throw on these when I don't want to think about pants yet because I just want to be comfy all the time. So who knows, maybe I'll film my video literally in these pants. I'll be sitting. Might not be that noticeable, but I'm gonna end off the morning showing you how I make my bone broth because I do this a lot of days in the morning to just get in protein and collagen. I think I need to tighten these straps. No, they don't tighten. Just kidding. Start with a lemon. I'm gonna go grab one from the tree real quick. Let's see. These are my favorite. These are little bone, like dehydrated bone broth, so you just add hot water. They have a couple other flavors in here too, like garlic and shiitake mushroom and spices, so I really like it. One of these has 10 grams of protein, which is really good. Some days I'll mix 1 or 2 of these into a soup also, but this is what I do. Throw this into a mug, and then I just heated some distilled water in the kettle. And then I'll use this ghee. I get this from Thrive Market. I get the bone broth from Thrive Market too. This is pink Himalayan salt ghee. It's a little left over from yesterday. I do about half a tablespoon. This is really good, healthy fat for your brain. I got this lemon from our tree and I do a big squeeze. I like the acidity, honestly. And then I add more pink salt. A lot, honestly. And some crushed black pepper. But then I'll froth it. And all of our frothers need to be charged. So let's see if any of them have enough battery. Oh, this one does. And there you go. And I'm honestly more of like a brunch gal. I feel like my stomach does best when I give it more time in the morning to kind of like wake up and process. So this is really good because I don't feel like hungry and it ties me over to a bit. And then usually like 11:30, I'll make like a breakfasty lunch, whether that's savory waffles, like avocado toast style, or chicken sausage and some sides or whatever that might be. But this is normally, most of the time I'll have this or a protein bar in the morning, something just light, and then like I'll have more of a brunchy situation. I love the way bone broth tastes. I could drink this like all day, every day. It's just so savory and fatty and salty and acidic from the lemon, and it feels like a grandma's soup that she would give you when you're feeling sick, but every day. And with that, it is 9:44 and I need to go set up my camera angles to start filming. But curious if you like this video, and if so, if you'd like a little vlog style nighttime routine. These are things I don't often talk through because I'm like, I do this every day, people already know, but maybe I just never show it in vlogs. I'm not really sure, actually. So maybe it's fun to get to see a little more in depth, like all of the products I use and kind of my little routine with getting ready and starting the day. But thanks for being here. Thanks for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you for a regular vlog very soon.